Fallout 76. This is how to launch a nuke, and I honestly can't believe I'm making a video about this game, but here we are. This is going to assume you've pretty much done the main quest to the point where it tells you to launch a nuke, and we're going to be using Nuke Crypt. I'll have a link in the description to that website that will show us the codes that we need. They update them pretty quickly because the nuclear codes reset once a week. We'll also need a nuclear key card. These you can find in Verta bots that are flying around, and you can find the location of these bots by going to the White Spring bunker, and there's a terminal there that will show you where to find them. Again, that's part of the main quest, so I'm assuming you've pretty much done everything you need. You have the codes ready, you have the key card, you just need to go to one of the silos to launch it. Sometimes if you go up to a silo and try to enter it, it'll tell you it's locked down. If that happens, it usually means it was just recently launched, or maybe someone else is in there. I don't know if it locks you out if someone else hasn't launched it yet though, but anyway, if that happens, just hop servers, go on in again, and it should let you inside. You're going to want to make sure that you have a decent amount of supplies, so if you are a gun character, you're going to want a lot of ammo, and Stimpaks doesn't help, or doesn't hurt anyway. Stimpaks definitely help. And radaways are also a good idea. Make sure you're stocked up on food and water before you come on in here. Generally, if you do this on a character that isn't stealth, you can get it done in about 20 minutes or so once you do it a few times. At least that's how long it takes me with my whack-a-mole character. And if you are a stealth character, I think you could probably do it in like 5 or 10 minutes because you can just sneak past everything. I haven't tried it on a stealth one yet though. The most annoying thing about this place, at least on my character, are definitely the turrets, so I suggest you have Master Hacker 3 Hacker perk cards, and that'll help out a lot because you'll be able to hack terminals to disable the turrets, but if you are a shooter character, you don't really have to worry about that. Just shoot the turrets and you're good to go. The weird thing is that sometimes this game seems to forget that people want to play it, so it doesn't update. The second you walk inside of this place, it should update with a quest for whatever missile silo that you are in. Currently, I'm in Bravo, so I should be getting a quest right now that says, hey, right here, Countdown Bravo. It took about 3 minutes for the servers to recognize that somebody was actually playing the game, which I know is a big shock, but I was trying to play it. So the quest starts, and then all the waypoints pop up. So the first thing is that terminal there near the front room, and we're going to want to activate it to start the quest continuing. I don't think you actually need to activate that terminal though. Then we'll want to come down this hallway and find this biometric room. So you'll want to get out of your power armor. If you're in it, jump into the bioscanner, let it scan your body, and then around the rooms here, inside of them, there are going to be these biometric cards, and you're going to want to pick up a biometric card, and I'll show you a couple of locations here in a second. They spawn randomly. I think they show up in the same spot on that server for everybody. So if someone comes in and decides to like so-called troll you by picking up all the key cards, that's kind of annoying. But there's one right here, which is pretty lucky. There's usually not one right there. And sometimes there's one here in the corner, also pretty lucky. Usually there's not one over there. And they're all over this little area, so you just have to look on all the shelves and the tables. This is a pretty reliable spot for me, that table and also that TV, but in this room that I'm in right now, there's usually a bunch in there. So find a card, and then you'll want to run on over to these terminals. Just keep an eye out for robots, and then you'll want to erase the card first, use the terminal, and then fabricate a new card. And then we'll pretty much be ready to continue on past this first area. This first area is my least favorite part, just having to go make your stupid bioscan identity stuff. I don't know, this part just feels the most tedious to me. And then we'll want to scan the card there, and that's all you have to do. That turret, for some reason, was immortal to my melee hits. I don't know why turrets do that. Turrets seem to be either, like, really, really weak or really, really strong. I don't understand, at least to melee hits. They're fine when you shoot them, but whatever. This game is barely functional as it is. There's an Assaultron in this room usually, so that's kind of a nice supply for robotic materials if you want them. And this whole place is just covered in robots, so if for whatever reason, a challenge or something else, you need to kill tons of robots, just come on into a silo, launch a nuke. There's 2 turrets here I'm going to skip. I just run right past them. And then we're going to come into this room. And there's some radiation in here. If you're not in power armor, you may want to take a Rad-X. If you are in power armor, you'll take small amounts of Rads, and you're going to want to come to this terminal, hack it, which I skipped past, and then disable some of the turrets. Sometimes there aren't turrets though. Generally, if you enter one of these silos, right there, 18 turrets are now gone. I don't have to deal with them anymore. Anyway, if you enter a silo and you don't notice any turrets, it's not a bad idea to kind of check the room ahead of you so you don't have to waste time hacking if there aren't any. I don't know if the silos sometimes spawn, or if you go in there, if they sometimes just don't spawn turrets, or if the turrets take a while to respawn after someone kills them. I'm not really sure. Then in this room, you're also, I think, going to take consistent radiation, so we'll have a radaway ready maybe, and you'll just want to run around and kill all of the robots. There's really nothing too deadly down here, besides turrets in my case. There are kernel gutsies, those ones are pretty deadly, so ballistic defense is pretty helpful. But there are sometimes laser kernel gutsies, so energy defense may help too. It's really going to depend on you and your character. For mine, I have stuff like, of course, Nerd Rage, because I'm playing Low Life, and Lone Wanderer, which I don't actually think I had enabled when I was doing this. And just any other kinds of defenses, mutations, whatever you can get. That will help out with kernel gutsies, but for the most part, everything's pretty weak. Then we'll want to run over to this terminal, shut down the reactors, and we're going to have to do a little bit of repairing. So we get like 2.5 minutes or so to repair a bunch of these pipes. And you'll just want to listen, or I guess we get 3 minutes. You'll just want to listen for like the sound that they make as you walk near them, walk up, repair them, and once you repair enough of the pipes, then quest markers will come up telling you where the rest of them are. For me, I found the best way to do this is just to kind of trail the room around on the right side and just circle around back to the left, and that way you should be able to get most of them, and if you miss a few then they should show up as a quest marker. But just listen for the leaking air sound, and this one right here is pretty easy to miss, and so is the one up here. There's always like 2 right next to the terminal that I missed too, which always kind of makes me laugh. So there's one here, and then just, you know, follow the sound for the rest of them. I'm gonna come around back here toward the terminal, and there's a bunch here. I think there's 3 here that I missed, actually. That one, and then I kept hearing another one. Where is it? Where is it? I can find it. There it is. Okay. And that's all the pipes. So now we will just restart the reactor, and this will open up the door to let us into the next area. If you die down here, I think you generally respawn near the beginning. I haven't died down here in a while, so I can't really remember, and I'm not actually sure about that, but you do get sent pretty far back. I think everything is still finished for you. You're not going to have to repair all the pipes again, or do all the other little quests that are down here, so it's not too big of a deal. It's just a little bit of a walk back to where you were. So don't go that way, you'll want to come this way, and walk on over to the right, and then back to the left, and then to the right, and then we'll come into this room with a laser grid and a couple of turrets. So this turret was immortal to my melee hits, because this game, you know, top 10 out of 10 functional game that works 100% of the time. And this turret, or this room has a turret too. That one died in one hit, thankfully. So I do keep a gun for these scenarios, but my gun perks are non-existent, so my guns are pretty weak. It does take me a couple of hits to kill this turret, and I'm only going to suggest that you actually use the terminal in the next room to shut down the turrets here if you want to do that, because we need to destroy these mainframe cores. When you destroy enough of them, that red laser grid that we saw will go down. So in my opinion, maybe it's better to kill stuff before you disable the laser grid. I don't know, I guess the robots can walk through them too, so that doesn't really make any sense. Forget I said that. So we just need to destroy enough of these mainframe cores to make that bar under our quest marker there go all the way down. In here, in this room, there's going to be 2 more turrets as well. One above that door I just left, and then this one that I decided to go to first for some reason, because I'm very intelligent. And we'll destroy both of those turrets. And the next room usually has a lot of turrets in it too. The rooms sometimes have varying amounts of turrets for some reason. Sometimes they have like 4 and sometimes they have like 40. I don't really know what that's about. So here's the other access terminal, and this will shut down all the other turrets in the next room. So just hack that one. There goes 8. I no longer have to deal with, thank goodness. And then we can just start picking off the main cores, the mainframe cores. Robots will sometimes walk inside of here, and you don't have to pull off every single one of the mainframe cores. to finish this area. You just have to pull off most of them on most of the computer terminal things, and there's tons of them. So just keep an eye out for the robots. Sometimes with a Gutsy down here, there are usually a few Assaultrons, and I guess it really just depends on your build, on your character, on which one is detrimental to you. So there we go, got a 3-star legendary. That was a big shock, haven't seen one of those in a while. And then we're just going to keep on pulling down the mainframe cores. The nice thing about these silos too is that if you take some time to explore a little bit, you can usually find some pretty rare resources. Lots of screws, although with the Wendigo Colossus event, those aren't uncommon anymore. And also military ammo bags. Those are pretty easy to find down here if they haven't been looted already. And that's kind of cool to just launch a nuke every now and then. Like I said earlier in the video, if you get doing this a couple of times a day, or even once a day, you can probably run through this place in 20 minutes or less, and if you're on a stealth character, you'll probably have way easier of a time than I'm having. And once all the mainframe cores are out, then this door will open up. There's always an Assaultron here, so just watch for that. Then we're going to run down the tunnel and get into the second to last area. So this place also has a lot of turrets, and there's probably a terminal somewhere to destroy them, but I can pretty easily access these turrets with my weapons, so I don't really care about that too much. I just kill all the turrets in this room, and then we're going to kill a lot of the turrets in the next room, but not all of them, because there's really no reason to. So the thing when you've been killing all these robots, hopefully you've also been picking up their drops, because they should be dropping lots of circuit boards and stuff like that. You'll want circuitry for what we're about to do, and once the servers accept that I'm hitting that guy, he will die. There's going to be a sentry bot, who is the most useless sentry bot in this game, but hey, free fusion core sometimes. Then we'll want to kill those turrets. There's usually 2 Mr. Gutsies in here. In my experience, if you play this area with 2 or 3 people, Colonel Gutsies tend to spawn pretty readily, but if you're on your own, they're usually pretty low-level robots, which kind of, I don't know, bugs me. I sort of wish this game was harder. I think this game could benefit by being just a little bit harder. Maybe that's upcoming in the next update anyway. So there's going to be 2 of those laser turrets next to this giant mainframe, and you're going to want to get rid of those and then start plucking off the mainframe cores. These are damaged cores, and we're just going to repair them. You can search around the area for ones that are already repaired, but that takes a lot of time, and I have so many resources I don't really care. We're going to pick up all 15 off of that computer, just make sure that all of them actually got picked up, and then we're going to come over back to this room and use the Tinkerer's workbench. We're going to craft, go on down to quest items, and repair all 15 of our mainframe cores there. And these things weigh a lot, so if you have extras, look for them in your miscellaneous tab. They will be weighing you down pretty dang easily. So we'll get on back to my power armor, because that's where all my weight is. You know, I'm like overweight if I don't wear it. And then we're just going to run on back to the computer, put all of the mainframe cores back in, and kill the Assaultron if there is one. That one just kind of came out of nowhere. And the whole time you're doing this, robots are pretty much going to infinitely spawn, so it's in your benefit to just kill stuff, do it quick, and then get on through. Now, as I put them in there, some of the things really didn't recognize. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to do. So I'll try it again, and the servers will hopefully accept that I am trying to interact with them. And then the quest should auto-update. If it doesn't, just give it a second. Then we can open up the terminal and open up the door. And that is going to be it for the non-nuke related stuff. We are going to be moving into the last room. There's the nuclear missile right in front of us. That's the launch silo. And this will be the room where we actually get to launch the nukes. So as I said before, you need a nuclear key card. If you don't have one, well, you're going to have to go get one and come back and do this all over again. And you can also use Nuke Crypt to get the codes, but I'll talk more about that a little bit later. There's another terminal here that it's worth trying to sneak to, hack it, disable the turrets if there are any. Like I said before, if it seems like there's not any turrets in your silo that day, then you can just ignore this place. You can go find out if there are and then just ignore that terminal. So we're going to disable those turrets. Didn't catch how many there were, but I'm sure there were a few. And then we're just going to clear out this area. There's usually an Assaultron and like a Gutsy and then a Launch Commander, Robo Brain. And this guy drops a lot of stuff. usually. So we're going to pick all that up and then try to kill this other robot that I thought walked around here. There he is. Yet another Assaultron. That one dropped a ton of things today. Come on over toward this terminal once I decide to kill this Gutsy. So we'll come upstairs again and activate this terminal, and this is probably the longest part of coming down here because now we have to wait for 5 robots to walk to their stations and then do their magic to get the nuke ready to launch. Go all the way down, initiate the launch prep, and it's first going to start by spawning 1 robot, and then it's going to spawn a second robot, and then, or actually it'll spawn 2 more robots, and then 2 more for a total of 5. So the first robot will come out of that room that I just ran downstairs from, but I'm coming down here just to look for more robots. I want to kill these ones because I don't want them bugging me. And then I'm going to run on back up here. Going to the right, I hope. Yep. And there'll be a little diamond over their heads when they are spawning, so you do need to protect these guys. If they die, there's a terminal inside of the rooms that they spawned in to fabricate a new one. You'll have to do that yourself, and all 5 of the robots have a room like that. However, if you have 4 out of 5 robots, I wouldn't even bother. I'd just wait the extra 20 seconds it takes, because it still will continue with only 4 robots. You don't need all 5 for the progress to continue, but if, like, 1 out of 5 is left, then you'll probably want to fabricate them because it's just going to take a really long time for that one robot to do it. So that guy's going to eventually get to his terminal, and you do need to protect these guys for a little bit. So I'm going to let the rest of this part play out. It's kind of time consuming, but it's pretty straightforward. If you're a stealth character, I've seen a lot of people hide here, and you can shoot all the enemy robots from this spot, this area, anyway. And if you're someone like me, you just have to run around like an idiot killing them all.
Additional security required. Launch prep at 75%.
And the launch is darn near complete, I think, in a couple of seconds. There it is, finished. We're going to want to take a look at these controls that are beneath the first robot that came out and went to his station. So we are in Bravo Silo, which means on the Nuke Crypt website, or if you did this manually, you'll want to make sure that you actually use the Bravo code, and I'm just going to double check. Yes, I'm on Bravo. First, activate your key card, and then enter the code. If you enter the wrong code, your key card gets consumed, and if you have an extra one, you can just enter it and do it again. I think maybe they changed that, I'm not sure. Otherwise, if you only have one key card, you gotta go get another one, come back and do this all over again. These codes change, so that is the code for the week that I recorded this video. That will not be the code if you do this a week after I recorded this video. And then you'll be able to launch a nuke anywhere except the new player area. The two places right now that are popular are Mananga whatever mine, that's where the Wendigo Colossus is, and near the bottom right of the map to launch or to activate the Scorch Beast Queen. I want to give some people a break. Everyone this time of the game is trying to do the Wendigo Colossus, so I want to give people an easy break. We're going to do the Scorch Beast Queen. I launched it down there. But you can launch it anywhere. If there's someone who bugs you and you want to nuke their camp, but there's a solid chance that they're not even going to look where the nuke is going. You know, they may not look on the map. They may just not even pay any attention. So you can nuke people's camps and it will damage their camp, and it's pretty funny to do. You can also watch the nuke launch from the silo here, and if you make it in time to the location, you'll be able to watch the nuke actually land. You can also get some pretty decent views of the nuke landing, or sorry, launching when you go outside of the silo itself and you go nearby and just watch the missiles come from the sky. So thanks for watching this video on how to launch a nuke in Fallout 76. For my normal viewers, I know that I haven't been uploading in a while. I've had some issues with Shadowplay where it did not like my default sound card, so I had to use the NVIDIA sound card. Whatever, I got them fixed now. I'll have Doom coming up soon, and that is it for this video.